Hello YouTube, and it's finally cold in Texas! Woo! Lytbringr here, and keeping with our October Halloween-esque gaming, I figured I would play some Skyrim.
We're getting close, I'm sure of it.
Oh, you shush. I love you. Don't ever change. Haha, you're a vampire, you can't. I am currently working on the Dawnguard DLC in Skyrim Special Edition for Xbox One. Woo. I realized that because it's a technically different game than the Skyrim on the 360, I get to re-earn all the achievements. Yeah, I'm an achievement whore. I love getting some extra achievement score. Why play 6 games when I can just play the same 2 or 3 games over and over and over? Random trash bug. In keeping with playing this, I thought I would throw my hat into the apparently eternal debate of...
Look at this place. This has to be it. I knew she was deep into necromancy. I mean, she taught me everything I know. But I had no idea she had a setup like this. Look at all this. She must have spent years collecting these components. And what's this thing?
A giant circle.
I'm not sure about this circle, but it's obviously something.
I love Serana in this game. I'm not an alchemist, but I still pick up everything because, you know, loot. The eternal debate of...
Let's take a look around. There has to be something here that tells us where she's going.
Leave me alone.
My mother was meticulous about her research.
The eternal debate of werewolf or vampire. Which do you want to be in Skyrim?
I had no idea her laboratory even existed.
For me,
she had an alchemy set up in her drawing room, but nothing that even comes
I think your core person is the strongest of the 3. Like, you as a werewolf, you get a couple extra perks, like you're immune to disease, and when you go into werewolf form once a day, because the Ring of Hercene is kind of bugged on my game. So I can only do it the once a day, but you can stay in werewolf form practically forever once you've fully maxed it out.
Looking at the equipment and materials, looks like she was trying to advance her necromancy.
But that was about it.
I don't know. Certainly not longevity. Kind of a waste of time for a vampire.
She has jokes. I love her so much. Okay.
I remember she used to keep a small journal. See if you can dig it up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna work on that because I'm talking to you guys. And I like talking and not having to focus on 50 different things, no offense. No, I didn't want quill. I thought those were hawk feathers. Waste of space. So says me carrying a random loot. Now, when you're actually in werewolf form, you have the fastest type of creature in the game. See, soul gem fragments look so cool, but there's no really... You can't take, like, a bowl of soul gem fragments. Or maybe I can. Ooh. No. Random grand soul gems always nice to have. You do get some speed in werewolf form. You do get perhaps the single most powerful physical attack-ish. Again, being able to make your own, like, dragon bone weapons, or even some of the easier to find gear through stories like, Chillrend, or... oh, the Dawnguard's legendary hammer. Like, they're strong weapons that can keep up with any old werewolf. For me, I prefer vampire. Nope, that was a cup. Gosh darn it. Whatever, I'll be selling a lot of crap later. So dark. I'm guessing I'm gonna need these later. Again, I did play this game, but it's been a few years. While in werewolf form, you have super speed, you've got super strength, but enemies at range, especially wizards that use frost or lightning magic, will slow you down. And the slower you get, the much less efficient you are. What the heck is it telling me to... I don't even see anything over there. Okay. Meanwhile, as a vampire, you have pretty much a lot of the same advantages. But you do have a couple of major disadvantages. Your health and magic recovery aren't nearly as good as being a werewolf or a regular person.
For her notes. She probably had a journal or something.
I guess it's this red one that really pops out on the entire bookshelf. Like, you can see it. It's right there. Aside from their speed and durability, vampires are weak to sunlight. Their recovery is crap in the sun. I have found that that's not really that big an issue, honestly, because usually you are indoors. The only real time that disability for a vampire really kicks my butt is when I am, like, walking outside in the daytime and a dragon attacks. Being able to get your magicka and your stamina back to just be able to stay mobile, kinda nice to have. I mean, if you heal with magic, because it's the daytime and you can't do some things, tell me this gets to be a point that I will fast travel to, because I don't want to have to go through this maze again. I really like them both, play through them both. I maxed them both out for achievements, but I love them both. Yay, I can fast travel here. That's awesome. How exactly will I fast travel here? No idea. But we'll say yay. Maybe I rappel out of the castle, or I pull out my vampire wings and just fly, because I can. To me, they both look really cool. They both do really cool things. Vampire is more versatile, in my opinion, because it can do ranged AoE, like, explosions and crap, and heal itself at the same time. Werewolves, not so much. Again, I don't really use either of them. Simply because my base form can do all of those things better. Do I need an AoE? There are spells for that. I've got shouts for that. Do I need magical resistance? Well, my gear makes me immune to anything and everything I need to be immune to. I do keep a couple of those abilities as a werewolf and a vampire, but like 90% of your versatility as a person goes away. I am currently using vampire because A, necromage is cool. I don't think it's a broken thing. Like, any spell you use on yourself gets buffed because you're undead. For werewolf, you don't miss necromage, honestly. And I know some people don't use it thinking it's kind of a cop-out. It's kind of cheesing the game, using its own, like, overdone things against it, and I can agree with that point. I'm only doing it because I like being practically a god, and in my head, my character is an immortal vampire anyway. In my headcanon, I think that your character in Oblivion and Skyrim, and I never played the others, but Oblivion and Skyrim are the same person. In my case, they both have the same name, they are the same race. Most of their gear's actually pretty much the same, since the gear's kind of the same across both games. And I deem that that is possible because my character is the champion of Akatosh. In Oblivion, there was a DLC that lets you champion all of the other Daedra, Aedra. Aedra. The Daedra are the bad ones. But Akatosh is pretty much the god of gods in this world. He is the god of time, and he is a dragon. So that makes him pretty much unstoppable. His antithesis is Sithis. So you've got the god of time and pretty much creation itself, and then you've got the god of, like, the void and nothingness. So they are two sides of the same coin. And then you've got all the other Daedra and Aedra, and they're pretty much all in the same tier. So you've got the A team, and you've got all the other guys are in the B team. And Akatosh never really has his own champion in Tamriel, per se. But all of the other Daedra do. And some of the Aedra do, depending on what game and thing you're playing. I'm not going to read that yet, because I'm talking to you guys. So, in my opinion, pretty much your character doesn't care about death. Because you work for the God of Time. And he trusts you implicitly and watches you and makes sure that you're doing... Like, I could see the champion of the God of Time losing his crap and going very, very stupid and trying to abuse his power. But I see it as Akatosh, at certain points in history, a lot of things all need to happen at the same time to keep the universe in balance. You need one person to be in charge of the Wizards Guild, the Assassins Guild, the Thieves Guild, the Fighters Guild, all of those things. And magically you show up, you are Dragonborn for obvious reasons, because you work for the Dragon God. And you may be one of the original Dragonborn from, like, you may not have been present when Alduin did eventually get fought, like, at the dawn of time, by all stories and all that jazz. But instead, I was in the world doing other things Akatosh needed my help with.
Keep searching for her notes. She probably had a journal or something.
Gosh, I wish I could marry you. You were, like, so hot. I love her voice. I love the glowing eyes.
She probably had a
I
journal or
especially
something.
love her character design for obvious reasons. I am a male. There are things I look for in my dream NPC girlfriend that came out sounding really weird. I am happily married. Don't tell my wife I said these things. Although she does watch these videos like a couple of months after the fact, so yeah. But yes, werewolf and vampire. If you want a bunch of passive stuff, vampire's your go-to. If you want to run around looking like a freaking boss and being able to blaze a trail from one end of the world to the other, werewolf is totally your thing, because you never really have to stop moving because you can dash attack and crap like that. Werewolf's just fun. I did love being able to run around as a werewolf. His sprint is so freaking ridiculous, and it's a lot. I feel like running around as a werewolf is much more easy to do than running around via horseback. The horses are so blocky on this game. Like, you have to kind of tank control them, and it really feels bad to me. I don't like it. But no, that's why I feel like that is why your character is god at everything. Because he has the time. He has literally done everything in time. He has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. There is a theory that your character in Oblivion and Skyrim, which are Elder Scrolls 3 and 4, are canonically the character from the Elder Scrolls 1 and 2. In one of those games, I didn't play them, but apparently in Morrowind, you got some disease that made you practically immortal, and you had like a Wolverine-like healing factor. And you have that in Oblivion and Skyrim, so I feel like your character could be that guy. I could see you being a demigod for Akatosh. Whenever you do eventually die, you reload your game. No other character has that ability. It's because you are the canon champion of the God of Time. It's why you don't worry about offering your soul to all of these different Daedric lords. You'll swear your soul to me, and when you die, you'll defend this or that, or you'll come and join the Hunt of Hircine when you die as a werewolf. You'll swear your soul to Molag Bal to become a vampire lord. In these cases, your character does not care. You can swear your soul to anyone and everyone because you know you won't die. You will die, and you will stay dead for maybe a couple seconds, and then you just reload the game. Because you work for the big guy. Like, all these micromanagers and like, floor managers at a wall, you work for them, where instead you are working for the CEO of these deities, and when he says, shut up and get in line, they all get in line, and you go back to doing your job of maintaining the balance. You protect all of creation from the Daedra and the Aedra's battle for control. Sithis doesn't make an active hand in these things, but there are things that happen in the world that you kind of need to be around to fix. And you just happen to always be there when these things need to happen. And that's Akatosh telling you, okay, you need to be in Skyrim. He doesn't tell you why. That's why in the game you were caught illegally traveling to Skyrim during a time of war. Because a lot of bad things are all happening at the exact same time, and magically you show up. It seems kind of weird. There is a theory that Mother's Basement did for their April Fool's thing, posing as game theory, which I thought, like, that video, I watch it at least once or twice a month, because the video is so well done. It points out how Link's piece of the Triforce of Courage, actually makes him an unkillable demigod. Like, he is able to reload the game because he gets to rewind time when he dies, and that is what makes him courageous. If you know that no matter what happens to you, you're gonna just get right back up and be able to do it again over and over and over until you win, yeah, I'd be super brave, to the point of being a jerk. Oh, You want to lop off my head in Skyrim? I don't care. I'm going to just reload my save before you captured me coming into Skyrim. You can't execute me if you never caught me. You can't, like, that's why there are some enemies I will fight and just let them leave. Like, you want to live to fight another day? I don't care. Just leave. I don't care. You can't kill me no matter what you do. I feel like Akatosh found me because I'm the only... Like, because he can watch all of time, he sees this vampire lord that either got infected accidentally or got infected on purpose, and he sees that I use my immortality. Like, maybe I had an archenemy that was like this super powerful immortal being, so I became a werewolf to gain strength, and I realized that wasn't enough, so then I become a vampire. Or a vampire lord before that's a term for the thing. And I'm like, now I'm immortal. I have all the time in the world as long as I'm not stupid and get caught or feed or whatever. Sorry about that hiccup cut, guys. OBS is telling me my video is too long and I'm starting to ramble, so I will cut this short. I got my idea for being the agent of Akatosh and being an immortal being that can't die because I have save states and being able to come back over and over from a game theory by Mother's Basement, posing as game theory for April Fool's Day this year or 2016. I haven't actually looked at the date, but I watched the video like 2 or 3 times a month because it's such a well thought out theory and I love it so much. Go give a look to that. It's all about what Link's piece of the Triforce does. We all pretty much know exceptions. We all know what Ganon's piece of the Triforce does. We all know what Zelda's piece of the Triforce does. But all anybody ever says is Link has the Triforce of Courage. What does it give him? Like, Ganon gets super strength and the small scale ability to alter reality and beat the crap out of everything. Zelda can see the future. Link just gets nothing special. I mean, the things he gets are via items. The Master Sword is canonically like a generational thing. Like, your great ancestor was able to use the Master Sword because he was a Hyrule Knight. You inherit the sword. It's got nothing to do with the Triforce itself. So what does the Triforce of Courage do? And the answer to that gave me my idea for being the agent of Akatosh. So I will leave you guys with that. I love Skyrim. The next couple of videos, I think I'm going to be doing Killing Floor 2, which I don't really know anything about. It looks a lot like, kind of Left 4 Dead, but with a little more tactics and strategy and perk trees. So I'm really excited about perk trees and classes and stuff. Actually, in that case, it'd be kind of more like, Left 4 Dead meets Dead Island. Not that big a difference. One's got perks, one's just got lots of guns. But if you cross them and they have a wonderful, beautiful man-child full of zombies and guns and explosions. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Lights out.